Hey, it's Noel Mathias from Mortgage 360 coming at you with another coronavirus mortgage update, this time for Wednesday, March 18th. We've got some new information. We've obviously got a lot of updates and things to share here. For the latest info, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and we'll make sure that we post information as we get it on what's going on in the world economy and specifically the world of mortgages. So let's get into it. I'm going to read most of this off my phone. I've got my notes here. These videos are going to be unedited and raw, but important if you're a mortgage holder. So let's talk first about volumes. We got an email earlier this morning from one of the big non-bank lenders stating that their volumes are 3 times higher than they would expect them to be at this time of the year. Now, keep in mind, it's the beginning of what would normally be a spring real estate market, and they're 3 times the volume. So what's going on there? Well, most of those clients are people who are trying to get a lower rate and trying to refinance, maybe lower payments, extend amortizations, and basically get set up to weather the storm. If you've got an interest rate of, let's call it, over 2.89%, definitely over 3%, you should probably be looking at lower rate options. And the simplest way to do that is to talk to a mortgage broker like ourselves. We'll put the apply link in the description below. Obviously, we're taking those on a first come, first served basis. Now, that being said, 2 days ago, I could get a variable rate mortgage for prime -1. A day ago, I could get it for prime minus 0.75. Today, I'm having trouble finding mortgages that are more than, or that are priced better than prime. So, keep that in mind. Rates are going up. Banks are, there's a lot of demand. So the pricing is going up on those mortgages. We just got word from the biggest non-bank lender in Canada that they're increasing their fixed rates again from 2.54 from 2.64 effective at midnight. So, those opportunities to get super low rates and refinance into lower rates are slowly starting to disappear. My guess is that by the end of the week, they may not be available at all. So if you're thinking about doing it, the time to act is now. Actually, the time to act was 2 days ago, but you've still got some time if that is something you want to take a look at. Now, obviously, the Canadian Bankers Association and the big banks came out today with an announcement that they were going to allow up to 6 months payment deferral and assistance to small business owners. Now, here's the thing. Here's what that means. Let's talk about what it doesn't mean. What it doesn't mean is that everyone's going to get 6 months of payment deferral. If you can weather this storm, the bank's not going to let you defer your payments. What they are going to do is, on a case-by-case basis, look at people in need, and those in need will be able to make a case and get somewhere between 0 and 6 months of payment deferral. It's not going to be a given, and it's going to be only for those in need. Now, here's my fear. The banks came out, big press releases, Canadian Bankers Association, big press release, makes it sound like everyone's going to get this. And the problem with that is what they're probably facing right now is a whole bunch of phone calls from a whole bunch of people who can probably weather this storm, asking for their 6 months deferral. And what that's doing is it's clogging up the system for the people who actually need the help and the assistance. So please, if you can weather this storm and you don't need that 6 month deferral, don't make those phone calls. Now, when should you be making the phone call to ask for deferral? Well, it's definitely before you miss your first payment. So if you're going to miss a payment, call your bank. But until such time as that's a real possibility, leave the banks alone unless you're doing something to lower your rate or get a new mortgage. Okay. A whole bunch of other things came out from the federal government today. Some of it mortgage related, some of it not. They are obviously doing a lot of things to support the economy right now. I'm going to read some of them to you. There's been a temporary boost to the Canada Child benefit payments, which anybody with kids is going to get an increase if they qualify. A new emergency care benefit of up to $900 biweekly for up to 15 weeks to provide income support to workers, including, and this is huge, including the self-employed who have to stay at home and don't qualify for paid sick leave or employment insurance. So this is big for somebody like me who's self-employed, for anybody who's self-employed who doesn't necessarily pay into employment insurance. Well, the government is going, okay, this is an abnormal scenario and we're going to do everything we can to help everyone and not leave anybody out to dry. So if you're self-employed, there is going to be the potential to get these sorts of benefits. I'm not sure how yet. We'll do some more research and try to find out, but it's on its way. New emergency support benefit to provide $5 billion to workers who are not eligible for EI. That's us. Here's a big one, 6 months interest-free for student loan repayments, which I think is so important. Having the ability to take somebody who has student loans and give them a interest-free period is huge, because these are usually young people who are going to who are maybe not as financially secure and probably going to have the hardest time weathering this storm. So I think that's an amazing thing. Doubling the homeless care program, extending the tax filing deadline to June 1st. So you're going to be able to put off filing your taxes for a month, basically. And then on top of that, they're going to allow you to defer payments until August 31st, which I think is huge, especially for small business owners and self-employed. Having that little bit of extra time in order to make the payments, I think is amazing. So governments on this, they see that Canada, the world's in need, and they're doing things to help us financially, which is huge. As far as clients in the mortgage process, we've also talked to our appraisers. Most of them are sending out health questionnaires prior to viewing people's properties. In a lot of cases, they're switching from doing on-site appraisals to doing what we call drive-by appraisals or desktop appraisals, where they don't actually have to be in physical contact with the property or in social contact with the owners. F&F, FCT, the title insurance companies are doing the same thing, health questionnaire. And if the client appears to be sick or in any way, shape, or form, they are basically able to find alternative measures to get documents signed. And we've talked to lawyers as well. They're doing the same sort of things. So everybody is working to make sure the financial system is staying in check and making sure that it operates properly. And I applaud our lenders. I applaud everyone else. By the way, the big six banks announced 6-month deferral program. Expect that if you've got a insured mortgage with a monoline lender, you're going to get the same courtesy. And quite frankly, if you don't have an insured mortgage with a monoline or non-bank lender, I'm going to expect that most lenders are going to give you the exact same courtesy, because primarily people don't want to be in the business of doing foreclosures right now, especially in a time like this. So the key thing is to make sure that if you are going to run into difficulty making your payments, call your lender first before you miss that first payment, and have a frank conversation and work with them to make sure that your mortgage is continued to be in good standing, and whether you take deferred payments or not, and that you can continue on with them for the long term. Best thing you can do in times like this is communicate, and communicate well. Speak the truth, tell the truth. Don't think that you have to have conversations with lenders or brokers or lawyers or whoever where you hide things. Just put all the cards on the table, and the people who are in the position to help you will do everything that they can to help you 99.999% of the time. Okay. So again, we're going to do these updates on a regular basis. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to make sure that you get them and you get the up-to-date information as fast as possible. And we will see you in the next video. Cheers.